What's up, spectators? Welcome back to another episode of Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Last time, we were going up. Well, we proved that Karen Jensen, no, Karen's the older woman, I'm sorry. Miss Jensen was an accomplice in the murder. She hid inside the costume trunk. Then the murder occurred with the conductor and Jill Crane. And then they swapped positions, and Jensen took the clothes of the victim and took her place. Now we just gotta say that. From what I can tell, Miss Jensen and the victim appear to have a similar physique. Furthermore, there was a rule requiring a mask to be worn during the auction. If their clothes were the same, I doubt anyone would have noticed she was a different person. Yes, I blended right in. I brought Miss Crane's clothes and... You mustn't embarrass the dead like that. I know. I also thought it was pretty heartless to leave her exposed like that. So when the conductor wasn't looking, I covered her up in a raincoat that was up for auction. Huh? Huh. So she was the one who put the red raincoat on the victim. And then the auction resumed as if nothing happened. I reckon I took the picture of her in the red raincoat after that. That'd make all the facts line up. After I took the photo, I went over to the lift to sneak a peek down below. I witnessed 11 participants, and then I hightailed it back behind the statue. Don't tell me you were hiding there the entire time until we found you. Nah, that's... How should I put it? What is it? Did something happen? I didn't mention it before, but after that I might have dozed off a little. To be more precise, I fainted? Well, something like that. So something did happen! It ain't no big deal. Kinda embarrassing to say, though. There was this huge thump sound all of a sudden. I was a little surprised by that. It was right after I had just witnessed a murder, so I was shaking in my boots. My heart sort of tightened up and I was off to La La Land. When I woke up, it was already the next day, around the time y'all came by the storeroom. I see. So there was a large sound. Miss Hart, I take it you do not know what transpired in the storeroom beyond this point. I guess. But after the auction, all the masks were properly returned. So I reckon the participants had exited through the storeroom just like I done said. Jensen, what were your actions after the auction resumed? I took the victim's place and participated in the auction. The conductor instructed me to win the bid for the costume trunk, because the body was inside. It would have been bad if another auction guest won the bid for it. You didn't realize the box was empty? No, we only found out when I came up to the storeroom to pay the bill. The conductor was with me and told me to go search for her immediately. And then, I found another girl collapsed in front of the ladder. Kay. Yes, she probably fell down from the roof and lost consciousness. Maybe the victim left the hatch open when she went up to the rooftop. I understand now. Kay was surprised at seeing the collapsed victim and did not notice the open hatch. She must have missed her footing and fell down into the storeroom. Miss Hart, I have determined the sound that made you faint. It was likely the sound of Kay falling into the storeroom floor. That might have been it, though I reckon it'd be kind of pathetic to faint over something like that. When Miss Jensen found the unconscious Kay, Miss Hart was also unconscious because behind the statue. The situation is becoming clearer to me. Miss Jensen, please continue your story. After I found Kay and the victim, I put them both in the trunk. If the customers at the auction found out, there would have been a huge commotion. Was this an order from the conductor as well? Yes, it was. But since I secretly decided to put the raincoat on Miss Crane, I had to dispose of the raincoat without the conductor noticing. So the conductor didn't anticipate the raincoat becoming another piece of evidence. And finally, we dressed Miss Crane in a spare conductor's outfit. I see. In doing so, you made the victim appear as if she was the conductor. In the end, the auction ended without anyone noticing anything. Jensen, your crimes have become clear. If you know anything else, please hold nothing back. I want to help you more, but that's all I know. You silly woman! You should have got an immunity deal before you told us all this. Now you're gonna go to jail. If I had to say, there's just one thing that bothers me. When I took Miss Crane's place, I borrowed her clothes. But there was no way for me to borrow her hair. What kind of coroner's assistant goes around stealing a corpse's hair? I would think that robbing the deceased of their clothes would be questionable enough. Both the color and length of our hair is different, so I was worried about how to disguise it. But the conductor even had a wig prepared for me. In fact, he had two of them. Inside the costume trunk, there was both a straight wig and a wavy wig. Two wigs. Why were there two? Who knows? Maybe it was a precaution in case the victim had changed her hairstyle. I ended up using the straight wig to match Miss Crane's hair. So that means the wavy wig was left unused. Who has wavy hair? Is that really all you know? Yes. That's really all I know. So that means you don't know who the conductor is. I'm sorry, I only knew that person as the auction conductor. I never saw that person without a mask on. The conductor seemed to be on guard towards everybody. At this rate. Edgeworth, is that all you've got? Even if that little nurse is an accomplice, it changes absolutely nothing, you know? In the end, the true culprit is still Kay Faraday. All you did was add another criminal, you know. The rule of law cannot be overturned, at least, not for your sake. Is this as far as I go? Am I unable to save Kay? I said unable, that's weird.
Objection!
Franny, why are you here? Didn't I tell you, Miles? Wherever there's a case, I will follow. But Karma, your hard work is most appreciated. Don't get the wrong idea. I only came here to find out the truth behind what happened to Kay Faraday. I don't plan on forgiving you for abandoning the prosecutor's path. I understand. You should thank your former subordinate. He gave me some valuable information which may save Kay. Gumshoe did. Listen well, Miles. This will be the final piece of evidence. Jill Crane suffered the— oh my god. Franny. Oh, come on now. Well, someone say something! Well, I hate to say it, but we already proved that. Already proved? Yeah, well, just a few minutes ago. You should have told me sooner! You're the one who barged in here and started talking. Well then, does that mean you found out what the murder weapon was already? No, not yet. Is that so? In that case, listen well. The victim was struck on the head with a blunt, cylindrical object. Like I said before, it's the auction gavel. We already know that. The wound on her chest was suffered post-mortem. A cylindrical murder weapon.
Objection.
You know, this report of yours, I trust it's accurate, of course. These were the results of 2 independent autopsies carried out by 2 respected doctors.
Objection.
That's reassuring, but it's too bad. You have no right to investigate this. Interpol is after the black market auctions, and I'm the prosecutor in charge of the investigation. The victim participated in the auction. Therefore, it's only natural for me to investigate. Especially now that she's been murdered. I see. Clever girl. Then it has been settled. The victim died from blunt force trauma to the head. Unfortunately, the murder weapon has yet to be found. Also, a couple other theories I have is, well, for one thing, Courtney, the reason Courtney probably was so mean to us this entire game was because she was sizing up Edgeworth, making sure that he couldn't be corrupted and that he would always go after the truth, even if his career was on the line. We can pretty much guess that. What else is there? She wanted to take care of the corrupt PIC members while she was still a part of it. What other possible theories is there? I just thought of it. Oh! There's definitely a relation between the birthmark on the victim's hand and, what's his name? Blaze's obsession with fire. There's definitely some relation with fire. Something related to, something happened years ago about fire. Has to be. I'm putting my money on it. Just knowing the shape of the murder weapon gives me an idea as to what it might be. Hey! In my investigation, we didn't find any other murder weapons, you know? If you consider the conductor's possessions and the crime scene, the answer should be clear. The blunt cylindrical object used in the auction hall was a croquet mallet! No, it's an auction gavel. It was something the conductor had in their hand during the auction. Namely, an auction gavel. An auction gavel? We didn't find anything like that. If the culprit is the conductor, it is possible that the gavel may be the murder weapon. However, that alone is not reason enough, wouldn't you agree? Of course, I have proof to back it up. This piece of evidence proves that the murder weapon is the auction gavel. Wait, is it this one? Hold on. Conductor. Oh, whoa, no. It's the loud bang. It's the loud bang Lauderhurt. Testimony. It's an envelope. Here it is.
Take that.
Because remember, it wasn't because Kay fell, because Lauderhart was already unconscious. That's why. It seems she suddenly stopped hearing the sound of the gavel during the auction. But she had been able to hear it up until then. Why was that, you ask? It was because it had been used as the murder weapon and was covered in the victim's blood. It became necessary to dispose of it, isn't that right? Blaze. I'll have a search for the murder weapon performed immediately. Well, good luck with that, you know. You gotta work as hard as you can while you're young, you see. He's completely confident that we won't find it. Well then, while the search for the murder weapon continues, I hereby call for a brief recess. Ooh, okay. This would be a good spot to end the video, but it's only been 13 minutes? We're chugging along pretty good right now. Order! Von Karma, your report. I have bad news. We've searched every inch of the Grand Tower, but the auction gavel was nowhere to be found. That is most unfortunate. It seems I am left with no choice but to pronounce a verdict. Well, it sure seems that way, you know. Normally, you wouldn't commit a blunder like leaving behind the murder weapon. You know. The best criminals would never do something like that, you see. I don't have enough information. Is this as far as I can go? Yes, it's a shame, you know, but it can't be helped, you see. This takes me back, you know. All those defendants who came to me, asking for a plea bargain. They trusted me, you know, told me every one of their dirty little secrets, you see. And when it came time for the trial, I'd get them sentenced to life in prison. So you'd lie. You're a liar. They were all completely dumbstruck, you know. Each and every one of them. Oh, how I wish you could all have seen it. You know, the stupid look on their faces. I shall hereby announce my verdict. Please humbly accept the words of the law. Yes. If only we had some evidence. I never thought that I would be passing judgment on you like this. The defendant, Blaze the Best. I hereby indict you. What? Oh, what's gotten into you all of a sudden? I have here documents regarding a certain case. The IS-7 incident, a case that happened 18 years ago. Documents, you say? Why would... He's the prosecutor! He must be the remember there was a prosecutor during the trial that they mentioned, but they never introduced who that prosecutor was. He must be the one. Why would you suddenly? You don't mean... On the day of the crime, the record of your keycard being used was because... I came to this room to fetch these documents, of course. Although, when I entered the meeting room, it seems it was before the black market auction had begun. At first, I told you that I came to gather documents about you, Edgeworth. At that time, I simply could not tell you the truth. What are you doing, what is that sound? Somebody's stomping upstairs. From the left? From the right? Wow, it's really loud. Feels like it's gonna come crashing through my ceiling. Okay, I guess I'll ignore it. What are you doing, Justine? Why are you indicting Pops? Without any basis? This is slander! That was a wonderful remark, Sebastian. Huh? Really? Of course there is a basis. During the case 18 years ago, Prosecutor Manfred von Karma fabricated information regarding the body. That was because the body of the sculptor Isaac Dover had been stolen. Papa fabricated information about a body? What do you mean? Oh, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was all wrong. Detective Lacer, who handled the initial investigation, reported that the body had gone missing. However, in order to deceive the prosecutor von Karma, there is a person who purposefully did not report to him that the body had disappeared. What? What did you say? That person would not forgive those who defiled him, nor would he allow others to hold power. He would use any means necessary in order to bend others to his will. And then, also 18 years ago, Director Young was ordered by a certain individual to write a fake autopsy report. Dr. Young was the one who wrote the autopsy report for the IS-7 incident? Please wait. Granny didn't do anything wrong. She was ordered by that person. She had no choice but to obey. That person was the chief prosecutor at the time. The chief prosecutor who gave Papa his first penalty. It was none other than you, Blaze.
Objection!
What are you saying? Pops would never do something like that.
Overruled!
Sebastian, we do not need your opinion right now. Blaze, do you have a rebuttal? Fabricating stuff about the body, Von Karma did all that on his own, you know. Falsifying the autopsy report? Young, you would actually do something like that. Man, you really did some terrible things behind my back, you know. Seeing as how all the parties concerned are here today, we should ask them directly. Please wait. Granny is... Granny, I'm sorry, I knew. That's why I... Because if I didn't, he said he'd expose you. If I didn't assist in the crime, Granny would be prosecuted. That's what that man, the conductor, told me. So, Miss Jensen was being threatened. Was the conductor who threatened you Blaze? That I don't know. The person who threatened me was the auction conductor. They do have a similar physiques, but I never saw the person's face. Any trivial thing is fine. Give us a characteristic that could be a clue. That's right. The conductor's mask, it exposed just a tiny part of his face. There was a tattoo there, I'm sure of it. A tattoo, you say?
Objection.
I really have no idea what you're talking about, you know. As you can see, there are clearly no tattoos on my face. So that person doesn't match me at all, you know. The person who threatened her, this so-called conductor, I wonder who it is. You have incurred the wrath of the goddess of law. I suggest you watch what you say. Hasn't he incurred your own wrath rather than the wrath of the goddess? Jill Crane had been pursuing you, just as I have. And I will not let her death be in vain. Crane was, you know... You say she was pursuing me. My, I didn't really know her that well, you know? I don't mind girls chasing after me, you know, but I don't recall her ever falling for me, you see. You didn't know the victim well? That is a testimony we haven't heard up until now. Before the eyes of the goddess of law, you shall give us an official testimony. I see. Everyone is bullying me. If you're gonna go that far, that's fine. I'll just have to make you disappear. Every last one of you. Edgeworth, I shall cooperate with you as well. If we let this opportunity slip by, I doubt we'll ever get him to stand in court again. Please don't let this chance go to waste. Yes. I promise I will live up to your expectations. Now then, Blaze, you shall testify regarding the victim. And with that, we'll end this video here. So stay tuned for the next one, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye!